Hello, Flosstube. I'm sitting in a slightly different location today, and the lighting is better here. Although I realize there's a big glare spot over here, right above my head. But you know, um, I turned on the light in that little alcove there. You can see there's a painting my sister did when she was in high school, I think, back here. Um, and a picture up there of us in younger days when I was in graduate school, I think. Anyway, I'm sitting in a different place because the lighting is a little better here. It's like it's right on my face. Anyway, so welcome. This is my Flosstube channel, channel about cross stitch. I'm Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and today is Saturday, July 11th, and it is not quite 12 o'clock, and it's already 104 degrees. And the high today is supposed to be 114. Welcome to Phoenix, Arizona. Anyway, so that's today. Let's go. I'm going to talk about cross stitch. So here we go. Welcome back to my subscribers, and welcome to anybody who's new. And like I said, my name is Elizabeth Martinez, if I can say my name. Elizabeth Martinez phantastitches. So we're going to talk a little we're going to talk about cross stitch, and I cannot speak English. So last week I had talked about I had a new start Christmas at Winterberry cabin. This is the Brenda Gervais design. It's I want to say a year old, a couple years old. Yeah. To me, this is a slightly dark picture. I wish it was a little bit lighter, but this big Santa and a deer here, reindeer I guess, pulling a sled, and some trees and cabins and a little bordered thing there and the date. Anyway, this is a really nice design. And so I had talked about last week. I was waiting for an order I made with chili pepper. Is it Weeks I Works or is it Gentle Arts, I think, or Classic Color Works, one or the other. Let me see. Classic Color Works, chili pepper. Anyway, so this is my progress so far. I was only right up here. I had just done his hat and his shoulder. And look how much more I've done. This is where the deer's antlers are. And this is where, I was right around in here, that the original pattern, it was a color pattern, and where it was folded in half, this part had like faded out, and I don't know if the ink had flaked off somehow or something. I don't know, but it was right around in here where the antlers were. So it was like when I looked at it, it was like you could barely tell what was the color of the antlers and what was the the symbol for the antlers and the symbol for this red suit, costume, dress, I don't know what you call it, that Santa's wearing. But anyway, so this is the front of the robe, whatever, and there's more fill in here. And then this is the outline of the sleeve. There's going to be, I think it's a darker red, like a maroon color that goes here. And then there's like a lantern kind of thing here. But yeah, so I made pretty good progress. This is all just one color that I did, on that. And so that's Brenda Gervais Christmas at Winterberry Cabin. And then I had another new start. Doing this as a Christmas present for my brother. This wolf kit from Bucilla. I bought this at, I don't know, at Hobby Lobby or someplace like that. So it came with, it was a kit, and it came with threads, and it came with 14 count white Ada. And you can see up here above his head and along, this is all white unstitched area. And I didn't like the look of him sort of, you know, floating in space, if you will. There's the trees and everything, but you know, it's the wolf in the trees and there's nothing around it. And you know, I didn't like that idea, so I had dyed some fabric, and I think I showed this last time. I dyed this green fabric, kind of foresty. And so I started on it. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. So I had dyed this fabric green, and I got started on here. And you could, it's a little hard to see, but I think with the other colors filled in, you know, you won't see the green fabric at all. But this, I didn't realize that I forgot that, I mean, I just hadn't noticed really, because I was so set on like sorting out the fabric, the threads, because the threads just came in a bundle sort of all together, and they were not on a lost card or anything like that. So you had to kind of guess how many, you know, by like, okay, there's 5 of this color and 4 of this color and 3 of this, you know, to separate them. But so then I was like looking at the list, you know, the colors and the symbols that were on them, and I couldn't find the symbol anywhere that, you know, that started off like sort of in the, you know, in the center of the fabric. This one here. So then there's like a list of what all the colors basically, and then below that there's a list of blended colors. So you know, of the colors that were listed, down here's a set of blended colors with different symbols. So this is one of the blended colors, and it's sort of a gray green and a dark tan or whatever blended together. But anyway, so I did this part of it didn't really look like much, but it's basically like around, like below his eyes and down onto his nose, you know, around his eyes here. So you can kind of see like this one, this straight part here is above, I think above this eye, like that. So yeah, you know, and his nose, the black part of his nose is down here somewhere. So yeah, it doesn't look like much, but that's a start on this wolf by Bucilla. Here, kind of goes like that, yeah. And I don't know if I'm going to change colors or if I'm going to continue on this, because you know, it's further up, you know, to count it and everything, but also because it's blended, I usually use the loop method to, you know, to do my 2 threads, and I can't do that with blended threads. So I have to look at it and study the pattern to see if there's, you know, somewhere I can anchor it on and all that. But anyway, that's a good start on that. And then I am doing out of the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, this Summer Catch Etching by Cecilia Turner of Heart and Hand. There's in a previous issue, there's another one of these etchings series, but I really like this. I thought about for my dad. Now this is on like a, what is the fabric here? Ren is linen by Picture This Plus, but of course I didn't do that. And I instead chose this little olive green color, and I was a little concerned that, because this is just 3 colors basically. There's this blue of the one fish, and there's a green fish here. The call for threads are, I think they're all over dyeds, coloring cotton. Hold on 1 second. Anyway, so I was concerned with the colors on here because, like I said, they're Classic Colorworks Sticks and Twigs, Blue Corn, and Weeping Willow. There's like a few little brown lines, you know, to frame the design. This is Sticks and Twigs, so there's just a little bit of that, and then Blue Corn and Weeping Willow. And I was a little concerned about this color because the fabric is kind of olive green, and so I am not using the overdyed flosses for this one. I'm just using the DMC equivalents. So this is the brown for the framing around it, and this is the blue of the two fish, and then this is the color of the green fish, and I think it's dark enough and different enough, contrasting to this fabric, that I think it'll work. There's and these are the recommended conversion colors listed in the magazine. These numbers for DMC. So I think this is dark enough that it'll work on this fabric. But anyway, so this is the start I got on it, and it just is. It's not much bigger than this, the design itself, because this is one of the fish, and it's only like slightly wider and slightly, you know, larger. So there's, you know, just the three fish. So it's, you know, and you know, I usually start in the center, but it's such a small design, and I didn't want to, you know, like basically waste all the fabric all around it. A couple weeks ago, I had finished the spring delivery, and I did a center of the fabric, and I was cutting it out. I still haven't FFO'd it, but I was working on it, and I was cutting it out, and you know, I cut out a large margin all around it. And if I had done it in the corner, I could have, you know, used that a little bit of that fabric, more of that fabric for another, like a small design or something. So I decided to put this in the corner also. Now I used my corner gauge, and I did a 3-inch margin, you know, 3 in and 3 down. And I probably could have gone like, say, 2, but it would have been really small, you know, really tight on this. So, but it's, you know, so it's going to have a healthy margin around it, but, you know, I can use the rest of this fabric for something else. So yeah. Anyway, so I had a start. This is the top fish of summer catch etching. And then, so that was really all I worked on this week, except that I did have some haul. I had talked about last time that I had ordered this tribal owl for my sister-in-law, Rachel. And again, this one, you know, he's kind of floating in space, you know, because it's not full coverage, which is good, but there's nothing around this owl, and he's just kind of sitting on the branch, and he's kind of floating in space. And I think the model uses what calls for 14 count white Ada, and so again that would be kind of blank, and since, you know, you don't have to stitch the background, I wanted the background to have some interest in it. And so this seems to me my season of green. This color is almost the same as this one. Oops. But, you know, slightly different. And part of the reason it's a little bit different is, I think, because I started off kind of almost making a mistake. I have 3 colors of green RIT dye. I have neon green, apple green, and dark green. And I started off with a dark green, and because I was thinking that it was, hadn't really thought about the apple green as the color that I really wanted. But I started off with the dark green, and I was adding a little, charcoal is another color that I had. Sorry about that. But so I added a little bit of the charcoal to try to make it just a different shade of green. And I realized that the dark green was darker than what I really wanted because the way this tribal owl is, because it's kind of mosaicked, any color of the background cloth is going to show up in these, white lines in the of the owl. And so I didn't want anything that was too present, I guess. But I wanted, something. So, anyways, but when I first put the fabric in, it looked very blue, and bluer than that I wanted. So I just sort of very quickly dumped out that dye, and used this apple green, and I put a little bit of, I did put a little bit of charcoal in it, or some other color in it, but it came out this nice green color. And the little needle minder was sent to me by one of my friends there, Sharon Metcalf. Anyway, so this is the fabric that I dyed for, and so you can see a little bit of that charcoal, and I think I might have put yellow in it. yeah, I did. I put yellow in it too. So there's a little bit of all those colors, I think, in there. So I had to look again at the owl is like 135 by 209, so it's a little bit larger. So I think I'll probably start it in the center when I start it. I haven't started it yet. I just dyed this fabric yesterday. Yeah. So, and then the colorful colors. It calls for all DMC colors: mahogany, black, light oak, and chestnut tree brown. And so I thought about, because I'm just doing something different. And so this is the mahogany color, and then this is the black, just the eyes and the beak there, and then the other two brown colors. There's this one and this one. So I was talking it over with my sister and my younger sister, and we decided to try these DMC variegateds. So this would be for the lighter color for the owl's stomach, and this would be the darker color for the owl's wings. Yeah. So these are the two colors I'm going to use, and I did a little swatch, and I don't have it now because I pulled it out because I have two more skeins of this on bobbins already. So I was experimenting with them, and I think I was trying to see whether it would look better if I did like I usually do, the sort of out and back, or if I did one X at a time. And I think, because I do want to do 2/2, this is even weave, not Ada. But so I do want to do 2/2 on this, but I will probably, to keep the variegation and see it better, do 2 individual pieces of thread rather than the loop method, so that the variegation shows up a little better or whatever. And then I may or may not do the out and back. I still haven't decided, but so so that's for the tribal owl. And then the other thing I had bought when I bought that pattern was some threads that I had been looking for I think the Winterberry cabin and some other things that were on my list of, overdyed threads that I was looking for, fancy floss that I was looking for. So, heirloom gold from, this is Gentle Arts, was one that I was waiting for. And this is supposed to be black crow, I think, but this is black licorice. And, it's black is black. It's I don't know if it's slightly variegated, I think, maybe. I don't know. But, whatever. I have a couple of I have mascara, and I have, maybe that's it. No, I have another black one that's a Weeks color, anyway. And I got these 2 Weeks colors that I was looking for, chickpea and beige, that I was waiting on. So, so that's all the haul I bought. And actually, I had placed an order with an online on a website because I've been looking for this one Prairie Schooler chart called Starry Night, and I'd seen it a couple places, but I just searched for Starry Night, and hold on one second. So I had gone looking for this Prairie Schooler pattern called Starry Night, and I just typed it in to search for it, and this particular website came up. Came up on that website, and so I put it in my shopping cart, and then I found a few more charts, 2 or 3 charts from, I think it was My Big Toe Designs. I think all 3 of them were from My Big Toe, or at least 2 of them were. I can't remember what the other. Anyway, but I had the first time. The first time I had placed the order, I'd put in 3 items, and I went, I clicked on my shopping cart and said, I was going to purchase, and so I put in my, I think the billing information and the shipping. Anyway, they were, said, if it's the same, don't fill it out. So okay, I didn't, and I continued on to the next page, and because I said I was going to pay by credit card, and I went to the next page, and it, it said, to review your order and before you click on submit. And so I was looking at it, and my shopping cart was empty. It didn't list any items. It had an order number on there, but it didn't give me the option to put any kind of payment information in. The submit button that we talked about wasn't on there. So I thought, well, I think I did something wrong. I guess I did something wrong. So I canceled that and started it over again. And I added something to my shopping cart this time. And same thing happened. And, it showed an empty item list, like I didn't have anything ordered at all. And it didn't give me an option to put a credit card number in. And it gave me the same order number that I had before. But anyway, and so I emailed this person, the contact person for the company, and never heard back from them. And it's been like about a week or so. So since I didn't put any credit card information in, I'm not gonna, bother with it after all. So I might look for the items that I was thinking of. Look for them elsewhere. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think I want to mention the name of the website, because I think that they're probably operating in good faith in terms of like placing the order or whatever. But the fact that I had trouble with the website, with the ordering process, whatever, and I emailed them and they didn't, email me back at all, was kind of, a pain in the neck. because if, even if they were having trouble with, like, a lot of places are having trouble with supply chain or whatever, the fact that they don't really get back to me and say, oh, we're having trouble with our website, or, oh, there's this is what you need to do, or whatever, or, oh, your order came through, but, blah, 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 whatever. The fact that they didn't get back to me, they didn't, call me or email me or whatever, no communication whatsoever, it's kind of disheartening. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm probably going to order, if I order those items, I'll order them somewhere else. Anyway, I think that's probably it. I want to start that owl. Now that I have everything sort of figured out and in place, I will probably start it. And I have to keep looking at my little list of who I'm giving what to and why and when and whatever, so that nothing falls through the cracks. Because I have some things that are sort of birthday items this summer, and everything else I'm working on right now is, I think, going to be a Christmas present for someone this year, and so I'm trying to get a jump start on those Christmas items, and hopefully later on I'll be able to do some stuff that for myself. Like, I have that pandemic pattern. I have that set aside, and I have some materials, fabric for it, and an idea about what I want to do for colors. But I have to sort of look at it and look at the colors and decide what I'm going to use where or whatever, and but I don't have time to sort of think through that, because I'm trying to think through all the stuff I'm doing for Christmas. So I don't know. I have a lot of stuff, a lot of juggling going on, a lot of plates that are spinning plates. Before I forget, I wanted to I had talked about, I have it somewhere handy, yes I do. This was a prototype, I said, this bag, this tote bag style with the handles on it. My sister was trying it out, and this is a elephant fabric that I had before. Sorry, there's cat hair all over it because one of my cats insists on lying on it. Anyway, so after that worked out, then there's this one is the bag that she made for our Etsy shop, for Three Sisters Creative Etsy shop. So this one has fabric, has ribbon on both sides. My elephant one, there wasn't quite enough, so it just has ribbon on one side, so it's blank on the other. But this one has it on both sides. You can see it. This little cactus ribbon and cactus fabric. So this is the bag, and then this little stripy fabric down here to match it on the bottom. And again, this fabric is quilted. You can't see the sewing lines, but you can, if you look closely at it, you can see the little quilting in there. But so then, like I said, this is little cactuses, and this bag is about like 12 and a half across, and about 15 long. So it's pretty big. And then the inside is that stripy fabric, and then there's cactus fabric on the bottom of the inside. On the other opposite this is the cactus fabric. So yeah, you can put like all the stuff that I brought to show you. I brought in this. I just crammed it all in that tote bag. So you can put other project bags in there. You can put a big project in here. Like if you're working on Pandemic, you could stick it all in here, all the flosses and the fabric, whatever. Or you could, like I said, you can stick, put several projects in this bag, just the tote bag. But anyway, so this is in the Etsy shop. If it isn't already, it will be shortly. But yeah. Okay. And I think that's all I've got to talk about for now. So just go, if you're so inclined, go and check out the Etsy shop. There's lots of different project bags and little notions pouches that match several of those. There's also a bunch of needle winders, different types and styles of needle winders, and a few scissor fobs, and some PDF patterns. So go and check it out. Three Sisters Creative is the name of the Etsy shop. And so I think that is it for now. Until next week, I plan to be here. I just wanted to mention that bicycling, I didn't go bicycling. I haven't gone bicycling this week because it's been so hot. And I had talked about how, I don't want to feel like obligated to go bike riding every day. But I do want to try to do that, to try to do something, either swimming or bicycling. And this week I've just been, kind of lazy about it, haven't done anything. So I want to get back into that, but it's just been so hot, I haven't really done much. On the 4th, I did go swimming, and but I don't think I've been since then. Anyway, so yeah, but I do hope to get back on my bike. It's just been so hot. I haven't, it might be a while, a few weeks before I. Because even at like 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, at 6 this morning it was 90, 91, something like that. Yeah, maybe it was a little cooler, breezier or something, maybe. But, but the sun can be pretty brutal, even if it's, relatively, 91 degrees is relatively cool here. When your high is 114. So yeah, I haven't been real enthusiastic about going bicycling, because the idea of coming back and being really, really sweaty is not very appealing. Anyway, so I will be back next Saturday, with another update, and hopefully some more progress to show you. And I think that's about it. All right, so again, my name is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches. Three Sisters Creative is the name of the Etsy shop. And I am in the groups Friday Off the Grid, and Stitching with the Housewives, and embroidery.com. All those places, that's where I usually post my links to my updates, and in the other channels, that's where I usually post, like if I post like updates or something like that, or on my stitching. But you can get a hold of me through either of those groups, any of those groups, I should say. And I think that's it then. I keep saying that and not getting up. So I will see you next week. All right, thanks. Bye.